We're welcoming back Dean Hanisch back here on CEO.CA to talk a little bit more about Focus Graphite, the company that he's running. Now, Dean, it's been a while since we connected. I think about 2 months at least. Can you give us a quick kind of brief overview of Focus Graphite?
Yes, I can. So Jason Latkauser, who's been helping on the ground, have been running around the country really, and the globe. So we got lots to update on. The first one is that we had a site visit to Lac Knife, which is our flagship project. We were fortunate enough to be able to bring up COMIR, and COMIR is the basically the government body that's responsible for doing due diligence on mineral companies and deposits and mines. So he came up, which was nice. And then we were able to bring up as well Susan Rohak, who is a board member now, and she looked at the project as well. And we're very fortunate to have her with us because she worked for Business Development Canada for 34 years, really well versed in clean tech. She ran a clean tech fund with over $1 billion. And so it was really great to have her on board as a board member as we kind of go forward to permitting and strengthen up those skill sets that will become invaluable to us. After that, we left to the Mojave Desert where we had a rocket launch, which was pretty exciting. And the rocket nozzle was made out of our graphite, which was great, just kind of showcasing the type of things that, our graphite can do. We did that in conjunction with Pluto Aerospace and AETC. So that was pretty exciting. And from there, we were invited as Canadian delegates, one of 2 graphite companies, to go to Japan and to Korea with Natural Resources Canada. So we did that and had a lot of one-on-one meetings. I met a lot of government officials. And I think it was really, really good for us to understand, the needs of potential offtake partners. We were able to showcase, the ESG advantages that our project has as far as being in Canada with hydroelectricity. Also, we use a thermal bed fluidized oven instead of using chemicals. So again, it uses electricity. So we're kind of able to showcase the environmental aspects of our specific deposit and also let them know that at 15% grade, which is one of the highest grades of graphite in North America, that kind of gives us, a little bit of room with the Chinese dumping, although they're not dumping the type of material we have. It just gives us that, closes the gap for us. So we're very excited. China, the whole dependency on China and things of that nature kind of played into that, as well as, the tariffs on Chinese graphite. So yeah, it was a very good program for us. We're very fortunate to have been able to go there. So the other thing we did was we got our results back for a pilot plant. So when we initially did our feasibility and we ran a pilot plant for the metallurgy, we had SGS do it. It really was to maximize the concentration of graphite, and we ended up getting a 97.8 graphite concentration, which is extremely high just from grinding and flotation. But in doing that, we didn't really consider at that point, the preservation of flake. And it's important in graphite to preserve flake size. And so although we did have 30% of jumbo and large flake, which is very important the first time, we decided that since people are looking for anode material that's more at 95%, the DOD, even for their specs, was 95%. We decided that, if that's what the industry wants, we'll run a pilot through, which we did at AETC, ran the material through at 95%, and we ended up getting an additional 17% large and jumbo flake, which is huge. So we ended up getting about 47% of the deposit is large and jumbo flake, which is important because it allows us to do a lot of really cool high-tech type things like the rocket nozzle, good for ice-phobic applications. It's good for graphene precursor, using that same material for fire retardants, so environmentally friendly fire retardants to replace the AFFF, type of material.
What's AFFF?
So AFS, it's aqueous film forming foams, and that was used with a lot of the military and their submarines and their planes. But the problem with it is it's liquid, so it would spill when it gets out. It would spill out and it would go into the environment. So it's polluted waterways. It's been linked to a lot of health conditions. So with the large flake, course 50, course 80, you're able to do expandable graphite. And what happens in that case is that when heat hits expandable graphite, it's about 200 to 300 times expansion. So it just covers everything with foam and it's environmentally friendly. So with NATO, with, everybody's kind of building up their supply of submarines and F-35 jets and things of that nature. It's going to be a real burgeoning part of the market. And of course, it's an environmentally friendly approach. So we're quite happy about that as well.
Very comprehensive overview there, plus an update on the company. Dean, tell us now what investors should expect moving forward.
Yeah, I think we've been working pretty hard at collaborating with different groups, both globally, different companies, trying to characterize our material so that people understand what the material can do. So I think going forward, you'll see quite a few collaborations. Jason Latkauser is really doing a great job with business development on that end as well. So
Who's that on your team?
He's in charge of corporate development. He's a VP of corporate development, but he's got a lot of experience in that area, and we've been really hitting it hard in that area. We've been going after a lot of grants. So, our focus is non-dilutive money is key. So we've been hitting a lot of grants. So I think as a catalyst, there may be one or two grants coming. I mean, we can't know for sure, but we're fingers crossed that we get one. And then also we have assays coming back from Lac Tetapisca, and those assays will go into a mineral resource estimate. And we feel that mineral resource estimate will make it one of the largest graphite deposits in North America with the highest grade. So that's another big catalyst, I think, coming. And I guess the biggest one is the ESIA. So we have from 175 questions years ago, we're down to 3. We've got 3 reports left. Those reports we're getting going, and I think that'll be huge for us to get those finished, submit them. And once those are submitted, then really you're at the community point and close to permitting. So that's another big catalyst for us that we're hoping goes quite smoothly.
Anything else you want us to watch out for at the end of the interview here?
Yeah, I think going forward, one of the things that we think we have to do, I mean, you can't do everything yourself, and you need a variety of different skill sets for a company to be successful. And I think we recognize that. So as we get closer and closer to permitting, we're really looking at kind of beefing up our advisory board. So you probably start to see some individuals with hands-on skill at being able to put stuff into production, being able to actually do the work. We don't want to depend just on engineers and reports and things of that nature. We're really trying to get people who've done it, have been doing it for years, understand the complexity of it as we go forward to try to do a demo plant, and get it going. So I think advisory board members, potentially another board member, but really just kind of beefing up the skill sets for the next phase.
Yeah, you need savvy communicators on your team like yourself.
Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you.
Dean, thank you for being here.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, for all of us, you can go to the company website, which we will link below. But of course, look at the ticker symbol up on CEO.CA to see what investors might be saying about Dean and his company. Thanks for watching.